What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Value Hunting. It's game week 11 on Sorare. We have another in-season tournament game week, and it's time to find out who we're value hunting. And before we get going, if you are new to the channel, do me a favor, hit the little like button, the notification, smash the subscribe, do all of those things to make sure you know when we're going live. And speaking of which, because of the new game week that's right around the corner on this very channel, Monday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern, we'll be here for Live Before Lock, where we break down the Game Week 11 slate, looking at all the late-breaking NBA injury news, all of the projections using our friends over at Momentum Labs, and then, of course, we'll give away a rare tier card. All right, you know the rules. We're looking for players with a cap of 20 or lower in their last 10 games that are supposed to exceed expectations. So we're going to dive in right now. And it's with the rookie guard from the Portland Trail Blazers, Scoot Henderson, who has finally made his way back into the rotation after dealing with that injury. Now, there's two things to say about Scoot before we look at his projections. One, he's been pretty bad this year. And two, he was the number 3 pick overall, and it's a rookie card, so people are already excited. So the market is a little too expensive for my taste for Scoot, but we're still going to talk about him anyways because he's got a cap of 13 and he's projecting anywhere between that 26 to 28 range. And anytime you can find a player that's going to outkick their cap by that much, you got to take a look at him. Now we're going to head over to the Sorare Marketplace to see what Scoot's looking like. But breaking news, it's Cyber Monday. Unless you're watching this Sunday night, this only applies on Monday. Because we're partnering up with Sorare, if you use our promo link in the show notes, you can see it right at the top. You can get 50% off of a card that you win in an auction tomorrow and tomorrow only. Now again, this is only for Monday. So if you use that link that we have in our show notes and you get in there for an auction, you're trying to bolster up your roster for this upcoming game week, you'll get 50% off of a pro card in your auction. But again, only up to $40. All right, let's go take a look at Scoot Henderson on the Sorare Marketplace. Here we go. Oh, look, Scotty Barnes showed up when I typed in Scoot. Isn't that cute? Let's go to Scoot Henderson here. So we're only looking at his limited card when we're seeing what's in the manager sales. That means there's only 4 limiteds available with the low ask of $66 here. And the next jump is to 77, 110, and then good Lord, 1,000. So obviously, Scoot is projecting to be a good play, but I don't know if he's my favorite play this game week. Let's stick with those young guards, but let's say it's a second-year guard, huh? Let's go to Detroit basketball, the Detroit Pistons, and take a look at Jaden Ivey. So Jaden Ivey has been having a weird season. He's kind of out of favor with Monty Morris. Not Monty Morris, who is a guard on the Pistons. I'm talking about Monty Williams, the head coach, but he fell out of favor, wasn't playing a ton, but recently has dove back into the rotation, getting a far more minutes, maybe because they finally are giving up on the Killian Hayes experiment. But as we look at Jaden Ivey, look at this, $13 here. He's got a cap of 20. $13 for his limited. That's for this year, though. If you look at his year 1 cards, you can get it as low as 8, which seems like a decent deal here. Again, not financial advice. Jaden Ivey here has a cap of 20 and a projection of almost 30. Let's look at his most recent performances, actually, as we click Jaden Ivey's Sorare card here from year 1. We've seen now in 3 consecutive games, he's gone for 19, for 22, and then most recently against the fantasy favorite Indiana Pacers, he dropped 33. So I do like Jaden Ivey for this upcoming game week. I feel like the Detroit Pistons really need to figure out what they have with him. They've been really weird with him so far. So I really like Jaden Ivey for this price point. Much better, like projecting just as well, if not better than Scoot Henderson. Obviously, his cap is a little bit higher, but Jaden Ivey, that's our number 2 guy. All right, next up, we're heading down to South Beach. Hashtag Heat culture. We're going to the Miami Heat, who have just been getting hammered with the injury bug. Haywood Highsmith went out. Drew Smith went out. Jimmy's missing games. Bam's missing games. But you know who is playing? Caleb Martin. He is back in business. If you remember from last year's Eastern Conference Finals, he turned into Kobe Bryant, but he is now back in action for Miami. As we go over to Sorare, right here, you can see for a limited card in his year 1, he's going for $9, his rare for $47, and that's super rare for $448. I really want to see the rare here. You can get his year 1 for $27. Now his cap is of 16, which isn't too bad, and he's projecting for about 25 or so. You also get 2 games from Caleb Martin, and again, we've already talked about the injury news, and not only that, the games are not on a back-to-back, which we love to see. His most recent performances here, he came back, look at this, 10, 9, 13. They're easing him back in. Then we're going to 28 bomb, 10 from the Knicks, and then 32 from the Brooklyn Nets. So I do love taking shots here on Caleb Martin this upcoming game week. We love a guy with 2 games that aren't on back-to-backs. So Caleb Smith, nope. So Caleb Martin, welcome to the lineup. All right, it's time to go up north, but I'm not talking about the Toronto Raptors, but I am talking about a Canadian. That's Niel Alexander-Walker of the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Timberwolves have gotten off to a hot start, and they are dealing with some injury news as Jaden McDaniels is going to miss a few weeks. So Niel Alexander-Walker seems to be the next guy up. He's got a cap of 19 and a projection of just over 27, maybe 30 if we're feeling ourselves a little bit. We're going to go over to the Sorare Marketplace now, take a look at NAW, as we like to call him. Niel Alexander-Walker, if you're new to Team Hold, is somebody that we've loved for a very long time who has disappointed us quite a bit. So it's good to see him actually balling out a little bit. So if we look at the marketplace, I'm sorry I have not shared screen yet. I'm not going to edit it out because I believe in the process. Niel Alexander-Walker, here you go. His limited card for just under 5 USD. I apologize if you're international and you are dealing with my dollars, but for 478, these are year 2 as well, right? So his rare over here for 50. I'm not going to talk about super rare because I am poor. All right, so his 457 for his year 1. There's not really a big difference between year 1 and year 2, which we are going to talk a ton about on Shot Tank. If you guys aren't familiar with Shot Tank, our friends actually Jeb Bush, John Boy Beats from Momentum Labs, who we use their sweet projections, and TST are going to be coming on. We're going to be talking about MVPs and also the price differences between year 1 and year 2 and how to navigate the marketplace. That's going to be Wednesday night at 9 p.m. So get excited. Anyways, really like Niel Alexander-Walker for this price. Let's go look at that rare real quick because I'm curious if there's a big jump between year 1 and year 2. Whoa, we go from 2162 when he's on the Utah Jazz. A big jump from, look at this, from Kappa 19, 2162. And then here you go, his rare is almost double that. Now, I wonder, too, if that has to do with Minnesota playing in the in-season tournament this upcoming game week. Maybe. I have not looked at that. I think that's right because I have a Karl-Anthony Towns. So there you go. The Niel Alexander-Walker may be a little overpriced because of that IST stuff, which I hope, if Sorare revisits this next year or does something similar again. I love the idea of incorporating the year 2 or the current year cards, right? It gets the marketplace moving, provides some value to some cards you have that you might not normally have that same value. 3 seems a little excessive. There's some personal opinion in there for you. All right, back to the projections. I'm going to give you 2 more hotties as we finish out this game week 11 value hunting. So far we've talked about Scoot Henderson, who I'm not really interested in buying. Jaden Ivey, thumbs up. Caleb Martin, thumbs up. Niel Alexander-Walker, I would say like right in the middle. Next up, we're going to Sacktown, actually, like the beam, Trey Lyles. Trey Lyles has missed the beginning of the year, but he's got a cap of 16 and a projection of about 25. Trey Lyles is somebody who, he got into a really nice rhythm with the Kings the second half of last year, heading into the playoffs, and then had some real good playoff moments here. So I'm going to pull up Trey Lyles information here on Sorare to see what this price tag is looking like for Trey Lyles. And here we go. I'm not sharing screen. Under $4, baby. If you're trying to ride that limited train, under $4. Look at Trey Lyles. Good little smile. You can tell that Trey Lyles in year 1 was off to a slow start, right? You can see it right there in his face. Year 2, he's like, I'm a baller. I'm back, baby. Anyways, $4 here. And with a cap of 16 and a projection of 25 to be able to outperform his cap by almost 9 or 10, we love to see that. So again, $4 here for the year 2 card, and then $19 for the year 2 in the rare. Looking at the year, wow, not really a difference at all. So if you are looking at the rare, you just kind of scoop up, get that extra bonus, baby. And again, Trey Lyles is somebody that I really do like this upcoming game week, and just someone I want to keep an eye on in general, because I do think the Kings lack some depth when it comes to the big boys, even though the Kings now with De'Aaron Fox back have looked awesome. And then last but not least, I want to go over to Memphis, and I don't even know if I like this play, even though it's projecting to be okay, is Derrick Rose, who has a cap of 9 and a projection of about 16 to 18, somewhere in that range. Memphis has been just so bad. They haven't been fun to watch. The only offense they have right now, we talked about this in our most recent live before lock with TST, is Desmond Bane sprinting as fast as he can to the 3-point line. That's about it. So we're going to take a look at Derrick Rose right here. Again, cap of 9. You can get him. His year 1 card is just over $5.50. Let's look at some recent performances if he's getting actual minutes. You saw that game against the Suns, right? He dropped in a 23. Listen, they're without Marcus Smart. They're just so short-handed at this point. They have to play somebody, even if the dude is my age. So there you go. There you have it. Derrick Rose, we'll put like medium thumb, right? So let's recap real quick. We got Scoot Henderson, thumbs down. Jaden Ivey, thumbs up. Caleb Martin, thumbs up. Niel Alexander-Walker, we gave it to him. And then Trey Lyles and Derrick Rose, baby. That's that's what we have. Now, just a reminder before we get out of here, we're going to be back on Monday, which is today if you're watching it, depending on when you're viewing it, at 5:30 p.m. Eastern for Live Before Lock. So get excited for that. We'll be giving away a rare tier card, going over all the injury news, which I'm sure we'll have a ton. If you watch basketball at all this weekend, it was all injury news. And then also take a look at that link. If you're looking at trying to buy a card off of auction only, not marketplace, auction only, a pro card off of auction. If you use that link on Monday and Monday only, we're getting 50% off up to $40. So you do the math, all right? You do the math. And that's going to be it for this episode of Value Hunting. Again, if you're new to the channel, do me a favor, hit that subscribe and come back for Live Before Lock. We'll be doing value hunting before each game week. We do a Live Before Lock on Mondays and Fridays right before the game week locks. And then on Wednesdays, we have So Rare Sharps with our friend George St. Ledger from Swingman Pod, and then Shot Tank at night at 9 p.m. Thanks for watching.